Hodul Adonai Kito. Psalms 107. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His kindness endures forever. Those redeemed by the Lord will say, those he redeemed from the hands of distress. And he gathered them from the lands, from the east and from the west, from the north, from the sea. And they wandered in the wilderness in desolation of the path, and they found no inhabited city. Hungry as well as thirsty, their souls fainted within them. And they cried out to the Lord in their distress, and he would rescue them from their straits. And he had led them up upon a straight path to go to an inhabited city. Let them acknowledge the Lord his kindness, and to the children of men his wonders. And he satiated yearning souls, and filled the hungry soul with good. Those who sat in darkness, in the shadow of death, shackled in affliction and iron, because they rebelled against the words of the Lord, the words of God. And in the counsel of the Supreme One they scorned. So he humbled their hearts with hard labor. They stumbled. As we read in Psalms 107, they stumbled, and there was none to help. Then they cried out to the Lord in their distress, and he would save them from their straits, and he would bring them out of their darkness in the shadow of death, and break open their shackles. Let them acknowledge the Lord, his kindness, and the children of men his wonders. For he smashed copper gates, cut asunder iron bolts. Fools, because of their sinful path, and because of their iniquities were afflicted. Because of their sinful path, and because of their iniquities were afflicted. Their souls abhorred all food, and they searched into the portals of death. Then they cried out to the Lord in their distress, and he would save them from their straits, and he would dispatch his word. He would dispatch his word and cure them, and let them escape their traps. Let them acknowledge the Lord his kindness, and the children of men his wonders. Let them sacrifice thanksgiving offerings, and relate his works with joyful songs. Those who go down into the sea in ships, who do their work in the great waters, they have seen the deeds of the Lord, and his wonders in the watery deep. He spoke, and the stormy wind stood up and lifted up its waves. They rise heavenwards, and they descended to the depth. Their souls melt with trouble. They reel, they stagger like drunkards, and all their wisdom is swallowed up. And then they cried out to the Lord in their distress, and he would remove them from their straits, and he would halt the storm to restore calmness, and the waves where it was still. And they restored and rejoiced because they were quiet, and he guided them to their desired boundaries. Let them acknowledge the Lord, his kindness, and to the children of man his wonders. And let them exalt in the assemblies of people, and praise him in the sessions of the elders. He turns rivers into desert, and spring waters into drought, a fruitful land into salty waste, because of the evil of its inhabitants. He turns a desert into a good pool of water, and an arid land into a spring of water. There he settled the hungry, and they established an inhabited city. They sowed fields and planted vineyards, which yielded fruits of harvest, and he blessed them, and they multiplied greatly. And he did not allow their livestock to miscarry, but they came little, and they sank down from the withholding trouble and agony. He pours contempt upon the affluent, and he made them wander into the pathless wasteland. But he has strengthened the destitute from poverty, and makes his family like a flock. The upright shall see and be glad, while the iniquity will have shut its mouth. Whosoever is wise, let him note these things, and they will comprehend the kindness of the Lord. Psalms 107.